I suppose it did sound funny. I used to lie out on the beach, close my eyes, may there be a pretty girl lying.
When I initially started putting this video together, I decided that I was going to do this kind of like artsy, Tumblr-y, like look back at these things that I had filmed within the last year and talk about what I learned from the experience and all that stuff. I even wrote out this like pretty pretentious script, and I did this kind of like soft voiceover. After I edited most of it, I was like, that's pretty cringe. So I decided I would redo the voiceover part with just like some authenticity and some candid talk here, because I felt like what I had before was just completely disingenuous and so not the vibe. So here's the better version of it, I guess. The summer of 2018, I moved out of my parents' house, which was something I was so fucking excited to do because I just wanted to live that college life, baby. I have so much crap. I was not in a great place with my parents. Our relationship was pretty tense because I was an asshole. Moving out, I thought would cure everything, and it did make things better, but what really made things better was like talking to my parents and treating them like human beings with respect. So my living situation was a little strange because of the school I went to and the kind of crowd that it attracted. I didn't really have any close friends my senior year. All of my friends that I was close with had graduated and just didn't really have a pool of people to choose from. I ended up finding a group of 3 girls who were really close friends, and they needed a 4th person to room with them, and met them, saw a couple houses with them, decided that they would be fine to live with, and boy was I wrong. So about the university that I attended, it is a small, private, predominantly white college. The school tends to attract rich white kids, and the only reason that I went there is because my dad works there and I didn't want to graduate with any debt. So I picked a school that I did not have any interest in attending at all. But, and if you've seen my past videos, you would know that I was raised on the idea that you should go to school for as cheaply as possible to get your undergrad, because it's pretty much the fucking same no matter where you go. For undergrad at least. Overall, I had a decently hard time making friends in college. I think one of those reasons was because of the pool of people I was dealing with, and I think part of it was also the fact that I commuted for 3 years and didn't have a meal plan for the first 2, but that is all beside the point. Moving in. This really comes in like 2 different sections. One of the problems were the girls that I lived with, and another one of the problems was kind of like the atmosphere. Let's talk about the girls. Like I said, they were really close friends, and so they were very cliquey and had absolutely zero interest in getting to know me. Living with them was kind of a nightmare overall. Some of the things that stick out to me were just like screaming at 9 a.m. or fully grown adults having silly string fights inside the house and spraying fucking Febreze everywhere and dry shampoo so the wood floors were oily and slick, and also inviting over their mean fucking friends that would just insult me in my own house. And then there was other, you know, like terrible roommate stuff, like people just literally being trash goblins.
What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
I totally forgot to mention the fact that one of the girls' boyfriends basically lived with us, and when we brought it up to her, it essentially resulted in these 3 friends having a huge falling out. It just left the house tense for like the majority of the lease. And when I say that the common rooms were like messy, I mean that there was like chewed gum stuck to the floor. Like it was fucking disgusting. Anyway, but the real fun part was when they manipulated me into getting a cat that I did not want to get, but felt like I had to say yes to in order to get them to like me, which didn't work because for a long time that I lived there, I really wanted to connect with these girls. So this cat, and I love cats, was a menace. We weren't even supposed to have this cat, so we had to hide him anytime the landlord came over, and it was just a bunch of garbage nonsense. The other part of moving out that was kind of a problem was, like I said, the atmosphere of the school. So while I was working 20 hours a week part-time, being a full-time student, and working on my senior thesis film, there was just like not a lot of support or empathy from a lot of my peers, because these kids at the school have like literally never worked days in their lives. Like a lot of them have never had a minimum wage part-time job. I have privilege. I'm fucking white. I grew up in a nice area of town, went to a really great public school system, and have a college degree and no debt. Hello from editing. What was really frustrating about this experience was that I seemed to be in the minority of students that actually had to work to support themselves financially while they were in school. I definitely wasn't the only one, but I was in the minority for sure. It was frustrating, and I was jealous of the fact that other people didn't have to pay for things. Other people could just live their life and not worry about rent or utilities or groceries and not worry about budgeting. But at the same time, what I realize more now is that even though I was paying my way at the time, my tuition was covered because I chose a school where my tuition was going to be very affordable, and then my parents paid for my tuition because I attended this school. I was paying at the time, but now I don't have any student loans or debt. A lot of those people that may have not been paying at the time might have student loans now, and life is very nuanced and there are trade-offs, and not everything is fair or feels fair. Higher education is definitely a privilege that should be a right, and it leaves most Americans in crippling debt for their entire lives. I am in a very rare and privileged position, and these are just my experiences and how I felt at the time. Let's eradicate college debt. Okay, thanks, bye. I moved out the summer of 2018, and that summer my family also went to Colorado, which is one of my fucking favorite places. Colorado just is so breathtakingly beautiful and wonderful, and is definitely a place that I could see myself living one day. Going on family vacations always feels a little bit strange to me, because it's kind of like playing dress up. Like, what are we all doing here? Like, together, mom and dad are driving and we're like 20 years old. It's a very strange dynamic, but I think it's also really cool to go on those kinds of experiences, because I just start to see my siblings and my parents in a different light, and I see them more and more as individuals and people who have lives and experiences that are completely separate from their relation to me.
Hey brother,
Hey, brother.
how much you want to bet I can throw a football over them mountains?
At least 5.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Clearest water you'll ever see.
Ever?
Ever. Probably better than out of your faucet. If you've never tasted mountain water.
Should we drink it?
No, usually it's not mean.
So you just told me it was this great water, but I can't drink it.
So creepy.
Here we are vlogging.
Vlogging on our way to downtown Denver, yeah. In October, I drove down to Nashville to visit my friend Amelia for our fall break, and it was supposed to be this, nice, fun 4-day weekend, and it ended up being a complete train wreck, because I woke up my first morning in Nashville to dozens of missed calls and FaceTimes from my roommates, because as I left the house, I locked my bedroom door behind me. And you know who was in my bedroom? That's right. His name's Rocket, by the way. And let me remind you, we were not supposed to have this cat, so we couldn't call the landlord and ask for a spare key, and we were trying to devise all these fucking plans for how we were going to get this cat out of my room. Ended up calling a locksmith, and that didn't work. What I ended up having to do was drive 2 hours back north and have my amazing friend, Evelyn, drive 2 hours down to meet me so I could hand off my room key to her and she could drop it off for my roommates to unlock this cat. I will actually be driving 12 hours this weekend as opposed to just 8, because it's a long story, but my dumbass had to meet someone in Kentucky techie to deal with the problem that I caused. So, my best friend Dana and I went to LA in January, and I went there for the first time. I was really excited to explore a new place, but I really wanted to visit LA before I graduated so I could figure out if it was a place that I wanted to live. I did. It's not I'm driving in LA. And I feel really weird about it. I'm noticing all the differences that California has to offer. I mean, this is like not bad traffic, but like it's still more than Ohio. It's also raining.
The rain. Sad times.
Yeah, we're using windshield wipers in LA, and I am upset, but mostly I am shook. Okay. Oh god, I thought they were beeping at me.
No,
Oh my god.
It's okay. I'll take it over again. Everyone is cold-hearted.
I'm also cold-hearted, but like, oh my god, fuck you, bitch. This is awesome. This is literally what people say about LA, is that people won't let you over and they don't use their turn signals, and I can verify that just happened. Also, that girl came in.
I know.
Even though I had my fucking turn signal on from the other lane because she wants us to die. What a bitch. And she was just wearing her beanie as if it's that cold. God damn. Everyone here is weak.
Yeah, so get
over? Wait, were we just on the 405 or 401?
405.
405! I hear about it in podcasts.
Oh, I know.
405 again. We're here in La. I think we're going to get In-N-Out, which I've never had before because I'm a Midwestern lady.
I would say it's mediocre, but I don't want to disappoint anyone, so.
Well, Rachel and J. Paul were like, oh, In-N-Out's not good. And I was like, what?
It's just burgers.
And I was like, okay. Oh, look at that Tesla! That is a mint green Tesla. Oh, it's dark.
Hello.
Also, I haven't seen one dispensary, so.
And go straight through the left. Don't be sad. What are its core beliefs? Sepulveda. Sepulveda. Sepulveda.
Sepulveda?
Yeah.
Ew. Over one more?
Yeah.
I did not seem sure about that.
Yeah. We are in Clover City.
This is where our Airbnb is. We're gonna have a great time with Roger. Robert.
You always want to call him Roger.
It just feels right. Oh, Marina Del Rey. Can we go to Lana Del Rey?
I don't know about that.
Stay alive.
Okay. Yeah.
He was just like, what? This is California. We're parked in Costco. Mukbang. Whoa.
3, 2, 1.
It's like a burger. Honestly, I think Sonic is better. Covfefe.
Also, we modified our outfits so we're more trendy now. Yeah.
Because we got
I put my hair in a low bun. That automatically means chic.
I've been very, very shook by the fact that this mall is outdoors. It's freaking cold. Who wants to shop in the cold? Not me.
It's chilly.
and did not pack a toothbrush, which I only realized this morning. We went to Ralph's and now I have a toothbrush. Hey. That's cute. This is good living. Today we are hiking to the Hollywood sign. I'm a little worried because we watched a guy do it on YouTube. But it's also a little scary because we don't have service. And there's rattlesnakes, but you know, cash. Ohio girls take LA, am I right? Just heavy breathing.
Please don't slip. Oh God.
We are at this bench that's about a mile, 1.1 miles up here. People are kidding when they say it's literally just straight up the whole way. And it is a mountain. And it's really fucking hard to get up here.
And it's windy.
But it's very windy. But I mean, look at this shit. It's pretty cool. Pretty neato burrito. Hi.
Hey.
You gonna come down?
No.
Okay, bye.
Well, I can't see. I can't see where to point.
You're pretty close.
Well, I need to see.
You're good. No, you're good.
We must continue.
We are
A little
almost
bit
to the
more.
top. Okay. So we just finished the hike, sort of. We finished the hike up. Now we just have to make it back down. When people say that this hike is hard, they are not fooling anyone. This hike is brutal.
You start at the bottom and you go to the top of the mountain.
We're in Santa Monica and it's really freaking great. This is where Dana's from.
Yes, I'm from here.
So she's very happy to be back.
I grew up on this street at the end of it, on the corner of Ocean Avenue in Montana. Goodbye.
Can't go fine here. I didn't go past the line.
They'll yell at you.
I know. They're very
They like to
angry
yell at
here.
us.
Oh my god! I love Josh!
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
We're staying in Culver City, which is this cute ass little like suburban area of Los Angeles. The cutest houses with the cutest lawns and cute trucks. Dana's in the bathroom, but I wanted to show off our little Airbnb. We're in like a private room in this house in Culver City. This is the front patio. Tons of greenery and like cool little statues and stuff. It's this cute little brick house. We have some super well-behaved doggies. Hello. Oh, hi. Bye. Really cool art, decorations. This guy's been like all over the place. He's got like lots of cool travel stuff. This is our room. Welcome. Love a good lamp.
A vase.
A good old corner vase for all your corner vase needs.
And a Dana.
And a very attractive businessman stayed across the hall from us yesterday, so. Did you see him?
No.
Bummer.
Dana and I became best friends years ago when we went on a trip to Europe, and that's where we really bonded. So it was really cool being able to travel with her again. But LA kind of fucking sucks. There was a stupid boy there who broke my heart. That also kind of fucking sucked. I don't think I've ever cried so much in so many different places. I think that it is equally important to experience all of the terrible, sucky, shitty lows of life, along with all of the great, wonderful learning opportunities and lessons that we have. Definitely learned a lot about myself on that trip and learned a lot about what I care about in a place that I live, and also what I care about in the people that I love and choose to love. I hopped off the plane at LAX with my dream and my cardigan. It just did not feel right. Now I really wish I vlogged when I was in New York. My mom took me there for spring break. I was really hoping that New York was just as wonderful as I remembered it being when I went there with my family when I was 15 or 16, and it was perfect. New York is gritty, smells like urine, and it's perfect. When I'm there, I feel like I belong there. I feel like it could be a home for me. Anytime I mention the fact that I'm going to live in New York one day, people just like to tell me that the rent is expensive, as if like nobody fucking knows that one of the most expensive cities to live in is expensive. I feel like New York is calling me, and I feel like it has been for a long time. That's my next step. That's the goal. The goal is to move there, and I've had friends that have made it happen, and lots of other people have done it. So as intimidating as it is to move to a city that big and to think about how I'm gonna make it happen, even just like financially survive in New York doing something that I love to do, sometimes the idea of moving to New York really scares me because it is expensive and it is a cutthroat city, but I know that I have to try. And now I'm here. When I originally was putting the script together for this video, even as I recorded it, I was talking about how optimistic I was about the future and how I know that things will be okay, which is true, that everything will be okay, but this period of limbo and transition has been really hard for me. I was working on a movie for a few months, and then it got canceled very suddenly, and I wasn't really freaking out at the time, and I'm not freaking out now. It's been hard adjusting and trying to figure out what my next move is since the movie has ended. Sometimes it's hard to stay positive and to stay optimistic, even though in my gut, I know that things are fine and that they will be okay and that things are going to pan out in some way for me. I know that and I feel it, but it is hard to kind of sit in the transition of life and just kind of accept the fact that you are uncomfortable where you are. Being uncomfortable will not kill me, and it won't kill you. Everything is kind of a question mark right now. I have a goal to move to New York. It is going to happen because I'm not going to stay here forever. I can't. Eventually, I will be taking the leap. All those question marks, they're going to add up to something.